Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's been exciting times. Hello, Franco, how are you doing? No, all right. Are you good? Oh, there
No
you go.
audio from me.
Now you're good. Sorry
Now I'm
about
okay.
that. All right, so you've been playing with Blender here to actually bring
Yes.
grooms into MetaHumans. That's your next step on the
Yes.
workflow.
I will first do physics on wardrobe assets because, as we all know, they, for whatever reason, convert into skeletal meshes as they
Yeah,
export from MetaHuman Creator, which is sad, sad times.
yeah.
But the skeletal mesh can hold physics, and obviously, we could turn that skeletal mesh back into a chaos asset and do the whole thing again, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I just found today that within a cloth asset, within a skeletal mesh, if you created the cloth, you can right click on it and convert it into a chaos cloth
Right.
asset. It doesn't work. It's empty. It doesn't have any nodes inside. It's broken.
No.
So the option is there, but it doesn't do anything.
All right. All right. Yeah, there are a couple of things. I gotta say, for whatever Unreal Engine 5 6 is, I believe it's very stable. The whole MetaHuman thing could have gone like lots worse in terms of, because we're all monkeys playing with it. Like, let's try to do this. And I see, a bunch of people, doing MetaHuman tutorials, like trying to guess, right? Because one of the things, I don't know if that was fixed, is that the actual documentation is not there at
Nope.
all. There is
Uh-uh.
nothing about MetaHuman
Nothing.
Creator. In fact, if you, last time I checked, 5.6 documentation reverts to 5.5. So
Yes, it does.
there is, even if you go to what's new, there is nothing new. It is what was new for 5.5. So I believe for something that has so low documentation, I would expect that us, tinkering with the thing too much, it would have been like a crash festival, but it was not. I believe I have gotten a couple of crash, but not as you would expect for something that looks
Yes,
very
for a
experimental.
release. I
Yep.
agree. Yeah.
So kudos for that. I believe that it is fine. But in any case, it gives us, a lot of time to actually test new stuff. Oh, wait, let me see if I can actually put the chat here. Oh, these things revert me to the, can I see the YouTube chat instead of these one? What is this? No, that is not. Oh, you see, the only chat that I see here on Melt is the, so I need to go to YouTube to actually check out the, it's all right, the chat and everything. So I actually brought up two new workflows that I want to suggest to you, and see what you think about it. So let me actually go there. So let me put these here. No, we said last time that we should do this, right? It is a little bit better. Oh, and we are like very big on the screen. So my guess is that we should maybe do something like these. Maybe we can do both at the same time. Let me do this. Oh, I can't. It doesn't matter. I need to redo this whole thing. So I think that. Oh, no. That was not good. I think that is good. Hopefully, this is going to be good. All right. Right. This looks much better. Much better. All right, so here we go. This is what I bought us for today. So the first thing that I was actually thinking, I don't know if you can recognize this dude. This is the, let me go here very fast and switch there. This is this dude.
Okay.
This is something that is coming tomorrow on Cowboy News. These are 3 new discoveries that I made because, well, when we have Marketplace, we had like this easy way of actually checking if Epic Game was releasing new free stuff because apart from the free stuff for the bi-weekly, free stuff, we used to have like new additions to the permanent free. And that's something that I usually check. And we have, some 3 things that I believe that are really, really good. The Lee Artist Studios released this coffee shop, and I think it's really cool. There is this stylized kitchen, which is, something. But this dude gave me the idea of, right, I want to, make an actual outfit, right, for this dude. And I was really surprised when I got it into Real Engine, because it does comes in a modular fashion. So it does have like the backpack separated, and let me show it to you. So Survivor character and meshes, modular parts. So this thing comes like with the full stuff, the jacket, the pants, the gloves, and the shoes. And for some reason, a bat. So, yeah. But I was like, all right, let's actually, try to run these, right? So I actually grabbed this dude and put it here. The next thing that I'm doing is, all right, let me bring my MetaHuman and start, measuring things out and see how that looked. So I went to my MetaHuman and I got here on, now I've moved these to outfit, but this is like a unified MetaHuman that is the default MetaHuman. If we can call some sort of default MetaHuman, which means that if you reset the body of a MetaHuman, that's the size that it gets, right?
Okay.
So, and it's like the only normalized measurements that you can have, on these guys. And you can see that he's not, that far off, right? So if you actually take this a little bit higher, you might get something that kind of looks like it, but it does have like a weird thing happening on the last spine. Like he's like very tall from the chest up for some particular reason. So I was like, oh my God, now I need to actually figure out how to, make everything fits. And I was like a little bit scared at this point, saying like, this may be like too much work. I want to find out like a good workflow for this thing. So I actually thought of something. Let me show you what I did. So what I wanted was to exploit a normal common error that people have with animations in Unreal Engine, and that is the animation retargeting options for the bones. And what that would do for people who might not what that do is that it will grab all the bones in the receiving end of that animation when you retarget it, or if you swap skeletons or whatever you do. And that thing will, actually shrink or change the position of the bones, not only the rotations, but also the positions. So I was like, all right, that might work. So all that I need was to actually jump into the MetaHuman. And with these current pose, I went and created an asset and created an animation from the current pose, right? And the actual result of it is this animation right here, which is not an animation. It's just like a one-frame animation that happens to have the default pose of the MetaHuman, right? Mm-hmm. But not only that, it does also maintains like all the transforms from all the bones, right? Which is what I wanted, right? Because if you get to the actual rotations all are based on deltas, and deltas are going to be always 0. So that was not what I was about. I wanted to get like all the position of the bones. And that is what you get in these animation. So the next thing would be to, jump into this guy, jump into the actual skeleton, right, of this other guy. And you want to go to the skeleton. And the next thing that you want is to actually make it compatible, right, with the MetaHuman bones, right, or skeleton. Because once you do that, you will get access to those all of my MetaHumans and everything that I'm doing, because it's not a thing now anymore. I'm trying to get them all parented to the base skeleton in the plugins. Because, if you want to transmit animations and stuff, it's like the easiest way to do it. We used to have something like that once when we got like the first MetaHuman into your project. Whatever skeleton was brought in, that was like the base skeleton for your whole project. Now we don't have that, so we need to find out like other ways of actually getting there. But once that is done, what you can do is actually take this dude and you can switch, to an animation asset, and then you can go, what was the name that I created this? Is pose outfit. All right, let's try that one. So pose outfit, here it is. So boom, you saw it? You saw how he shrunk just a little bit?
Okay.
So what you got now is an actual character that has all the bones in the same position as a metahuman. So let me revert my metahuman size. And, fingers and everything is exactly at the same. So I should, take this.
Zero out the metahuman.
Yeah. Let's bring everything out of here. Let's zero everything out. So let's zero you and zero you. And boom. So if it wasn't because this character is weird in the sense of this long neck, I don't know how these actually happen. He has like a very weird chest. But if you actually check, the actual hands are like on point. And if you check, the feet, and if you check, the rest of the pose, if it wasn't because of this weirdness in the head of this dude, you should have like a very one-to-one positioning, right? Of the whatever, UE4, UE5 mannequin skeleton to whatever you want. So this first step, I believe that would save tons of time from people, right, that wants to actually bring something from UE4, UE5 mannequin into metahumans. Because even, and this is something that I believe was a complete mistake from the side of Epic this time around, because there are like committing the same crimes and problems that they used to have. So if you actually bring a Manny, you're going to see that its pose is not even close to the one from the metahuman. Even if you try to, make him. So these to me is like a big issue, right? That the normal mannequin is very far off from the pose of the new metahuman. I don't know if I remember the last metahuman, because it has had so many new versions, right? Since the start. It was a little bit more like the pose of a metahuman. Now it's, as you can see, is very, very far off in terms of the elbow, in terms of sometimes even the proportions. So I think that is really, really bad. And every time that we want to actually do something like this, when you want to get some sort of outfit from, a very old metahuman to, a very old UE4, UE5 mannequin into, the metahuman outfit, is going to give you, issues. And this is great, right? Now that, and I actually set this up in this new outfit folder. Now, to me, this is like my initial step every time, because I know that this is something that is really normalized. This is a metahuman that happens to be the size when you default the body of a metahuman, which is great. And this one is the, default pose on an animation of a metahuman. So this is great. So yeah, after that, I went the whole shebang, right? But now with your new way of doing it, which involves using the skeletal mesh. So I had to, turn it into a normal static mesh just because you don't have enough selecting and deleting, modeling tools.
Capabilities. Yeah, it's annoying.
It's the big issue there, right? It's very, very hard to actually select stuff with modeling tools that are on the skeletal mesh side. So that's the only reason why I, took it out into a static mesh. I, chop it out, and then I brought it in as a. So let me.
Skeletal mesh, weight transfer to the metahuman.
So it was like this. So this is the static mesh, weight transfer to a metahuman, which is this one, and then So
cloth asset, then outfit, then wardrobe, then metahuman creator.
So now you can see that this one was the corrected version because this one had like this long neck. Now this is like a little bit shorter.
Now you had to manually correct it, right?
Yeah, but believe it or not, the only thing that I corrected was the neck.
The neck.
The actual globes
Look at the globes.
actually
Wow.
match very, very well. Like I had to, do a little bit of this and that here, but just a bit, right? So actually fitting gloves, I was like very, very elated. Like, oh my God, this thing is going places. And a couple of things here and there. But anyway, the other thing that actually bothered me was that once I started, bringing it to this guy, I still have some, because I was not too aggressive into correcting interpenetrations.
Yeah.
I actually had interpenetration with this guy. In fact, you
Yeah.
can see that there is one right here
Poking. Yeah.
that is not in the original, MetaHuman. So with the actual sizing up and down, you're bound to have, issues like
Sometimes,
these.
yes. If you are with the corrections you make, with the sculpting you make, it's still too close to the geometry of the original.
Right.
When that geometry changes a little bit, it's because the density of the geometry of the MetaHuman is way higher usually than the clothes that we're using.
Oh, yeah.
The cloth simply does not have the vertices to bend
Exactly.
and to adapt to this new curve or shape or new circular shape. And
Yeah.
it does a flat. So when you do flat and then under it, you have a curve shape, you see that little curve shape poking, which is literally what's happening with that finger right there.
Yep. So, but now you can see that this one is not that bad. I have issues
it looks awesome.
right in the hand, right? But let me show you something that I know that you're going to
The
find
new
out
trick.
really, really amazing. So if I take the body and I go, oh no, it's the other way around. It's this one. Ha! Look at that. So I was right. It is an actual mask, and it is in the material. Even though we couldn't find it in the material, the actual material framework that the new MetaHuman is using is bonkers, is madness. It's something that at some point we're going to have to sit down and deal with it, how they are, creating these new materials and all that stuff. But I actually managed to do this, and it was actually watching one of your tutorials, because at the end of the line, when you get to the wardrobe item, if you open it up, let me show you how I got here, because it was a little bit of reverse engineering.
Yeah, the techwear outfit is where I saw that little mask and I sent you that screenshot. Hey, this is where this thing
Yep.
is. I don't know what it does, but this is where it is.
You remember that there are a couple of the outfits and the cloth that if you go to the plugin, if you double click on them, you cannot see anything in it,
Yeah.
because maybe they are compiled like in a different, more advanced, engine version. Well, if you come here, let me show you how I found it. So let me get rid of this, right? So I was playing with these, right? And I went like, all right, if I select this and I go accessory properties, I actually could open this one.
Okay.
And it opened until, this is what it shows you, right?
Yes.
But I remember that you said that you should use this MetaHuman outfit editor pipeline. And then I opened this up and it says outfit. And then I found the body hidden
mask.
face map.
Yeah.
And if you go and search for these, it's somewhere in the plugins for the MetaHuman creator.
Of course.
Nice thing is that you can use this one as it is for plenty of your MetaHumans, because it will hide the more troublesome part of your MetaHuman. I believe that we could grab this one and actually create a new one that is a little bit more aggressive, because you just need to actually delete instead of, paint. So you could, cut it a little bit shorter here, right?
Wait, isn't it the opposite?
No, white is going to be what is shown. White is on, and
Right.
black is
So
off.
you don't want to delete. You want to paint white.
No, you want to paint black.
Okay, so you want to show less. You want to
Yeah.
chop more of the arm. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
of course. Because
Gotcha.
they actually set these up for a shirt and shorts. You
Yeah,
might want
there's
to
full
go.
arms, and in the case of yours, you wouldn't even want half the hand because you have the gloves and you don't want the
Exactly.
hand poking. Yeah,
I might only want like the tip of the
the
fingers.
tip of the fingers.
And
yeah,
I'm guessing for the full MetaHuman, it's going to be like the tip of the fingers, and that is
and that's it. And
the
the
only
head.
thing that I would use.
I know the head is on other material. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be like turning everything black, but the tip of the fingers and
The
that's
tip of the fingers. Yep.
So I actually found out that this is not foolproof. Somehow this thing fails a lot. And I don't know if
Okay.
it has something to do. Let me show you. If I actually double click on the other garment, right? The short and shirt.
Yes.
If you actually check this out, he is not cut. He is still in there. I don't know why. And you can actually know if he's in there because you can go to the outfit clothing and you can actually hide it. So it's not cutting it. I don't know why. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, but isn't it doing it in the assembly step?
No, I don't think so. If I actually double click on the Rebel one, the one that I just... Oh, I might have to actually get rid of this one.
Yep.
All right. So is it working here? No. It's
I
not
think it's doing
working.
it in the assembly step. That is why you're not seeing that here.
Let me address that because I was a little bit confused with that one. Let me go here, MetaHuman, and go and
What I
create a
would
new
love to do
MetaHuman
is have a
character.
way to create thumbnails. So those little thumbnails
Oh,
that bug out don't
yeah.
back out anymore.
I think they're gonna take care of that like real
Oh
soon.
my god. I don't think it's a top priority right now.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Sometimes
Yep.
my stuff glitches. And when you assign the shirt and shorts, it actually first applies the mask. And you can see the, like the
chopping?
the chopping. And then the actual, shirt and shorts appear. Let me see if that
Okay.
is the case here. If I double click, you should see. All right, I didn't saw it at that point. So that is wild. All right, who knows? Let me actually go really fast about this one. 2K, just full rig. And let me assemble this one and see if you get the chopping or not. I was having issues with this, and I don't know why. Sometimes it does it, and sometimes it simply does not. Oh, I actually created a full rig. Well, it's all right. It should be done really soon. I don't know. The first time I tried with the Rebel one actually worked on the spot. But then I tried to replicate it with a shirt and shorts and it didn't cut it. So I think that that's still like a little bit iffy. Like it's not like very reliable. I know that if it is the first time that you're actually assigning that wardrobe to the MetaHuman, it actually cut it. Maybe you're right. Maybe it has to do with assembly. Let us check.
The black magic that is assembly that changes our cloth into a skeletal mesh for whatever reason.
I think that they might be having a way very soon of actually converting however the simulation is happening in the outfit to chaos cloth. So it's going to be like bake in whatever, movement that it has and, take it to chaos cloth. Because again, I think that with the Unreal Animation framework, they're going to go that way with skeletons instead of having like outfits and all that stuff. I believe all that is going to be like a middle part of a workflow, but not, the full end of it. Like actually assigning outfits to metahumans to have the simulation, I believe is really good and it looks awesome, at least for cinematics. But for games, I don't think that is going to be at all like something that can hold with frame time and the optimization of gamings.
I mean, they were showing the cape on Siri, and that was full of simulations.
Yeah, but those were bones.
No.
So that was so not bones. I misspoke. That was an skeletal mesh. They didn't say that it was chaos cloth, but that was
It was chaos cloth.
right. So then
What they were doing was they were doing a sim mesh and a render mesh, and the sim mesh is super low quality compared to the render mesh.
yeah.
And then they simulate that, which is way lower poly than the actual render mesh.
Right. But It is not an outfit. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, no. Outfits so far, for what I'm seeing, are just a medium to get into the MetaHuman creator, and that's it. Because when you spit them out, they convert into skeletal meshes, and the outfit itself isn't good for anything other than if you instead of doing the resize one, which works with MetaHuman creator, you can use the resizable outfit option, which works for moving it from one MetaHuman scaly mesh to another MetaHuman scaly mesh, specifically to MetaHumans, right? The
Right.
resize would be for MetaHuman creator and to adapt to any parametric body changes, and the resizable is from MetaHuman A to MetaHuman B.
Am I tripping?
Yeah, why is it blue? Nobody knows.
Why is it blue?
Good question.
Oh my god! And
They changed that back actually. In preview it was blue, and then in release it was white because it broke.
oh yeah, you're right. It does it in the assembly.
In assembly.
But this is what I saw then. If you go back, oh, so this is wild. The fact that it's blue. So maybe maybe the plugin had like an update today or something like that.
Oh no, it's been happening.
Sometimes it's blue.
Yes.
Maybe it's because of the size, but I didn't change the size, so it should be the same as these. Well, it's wild. All right, so the other thing would be to go back here, open it up, and check if now that it's here, it is remove. Oh, this thing always takes so long to actually turn on. It is nonsense. But, so, all right, open up. Come on. Eventually. All right, great. So, what if? Oh no, it's complete here. So maybe I was tripping or something, but I saw it when I apply it. Let me check it out. Put it in. No, it was wild. It was maybe like a bug. I saw it at some point. Oh, look at that. The actual thing here has like many sizes. The thumbnail. Was that all the time? Like that?
Yeah, that was always there. In fact, if you check the TechWare outfit, it also has many sizes, and that is because when they create the outfit, you see that they import. You remember that they import body type A, B through F,
Which
and
makes no
those
sense.
different chaos sizes are also in the thumbnail for whatever reason. If you check the TechWare outfit, it looks like it has 4 arms because it's like the different sizes.
Right.
Which is very dumb. I still to today do not know why they do the matching with 5 different types. I understand that the idea behind it is that when you are adjusting your parametric body, Unreal looks at the closest possible resize that you did and then applies that. I didn't do any of that, and I destroy the bodies, and it still adapts very, very well. So I am unsure what's the point of all that hassle.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe talking from, the point of view of being somebody with very artistic needs, maybe they would say, well, maybe the fitting on a big fat guy is going to be different in terms of the stretchiness of the fabrics, and maybe someone that is a little bit thinner might have like a different model just because it will crumple a little bit more. I don't know, maybe they have something like that in mind where the actual fabric will have like less wrinkles or maybe a different normal material or something like that will actually give the best fit. Because so far, the actual fit is great. It's really intelligent in terms that it is not like scaling it. It's actually taking into account whatever is beneath it and actually growing, like inflating and deflating depending on, how it looks and the size. But that's the only reason, because it works fine without all that crap.
Yeah, it does.
And it also makes no sense that you need to fit like an outfit instead of a clothing, chaos cloth. Like, why would you have to fit here an outfit instead of a chaos cloth? Because
Well, because the outfit is the one that has the graph where it's doing all the resizing. Now, why is the graph not in Chaos Cloth when they look exactly the same? I don't know.
but mine is really not. Wait, am I? Let me open it up and see if. No, this is not the one. This is something that I was testing. This one. Oh yeah, you're right. This thing has the actual cloth. This one. Make size
Yep.
outfits. All right. This
Yep.
I clicked it the other day and it takes like 5 minutes to unfreeze. I don't know what the hell
What?
is in this thing. If you touch this node, Umbrella Engine will say like, wait, I need to think about it. All right, now it's good.
Look at that.
And yeah, so I don't know, it's weird. It has like nothing exposed. And this is the only thing that, does something. It looks awful here for some reason, but it does look fine once you apply it. So
Yeah.
that was it. That was the 2 tricks that I wanted to bring to today's.
Did you try chopping the mask off and painting it black to see if it actually removes more of the body? Now, the problem with that is that you would need to re-export the MetaHuman.
Oh, that would be. No, I don't think that you need to actually do it. If you do it on the original, you might actually change it for good. Because as far as I know, there is only one of those textures. Like you don't get like one texture. You know what? It would be nice to actually know how that thing is connected. Because now that I'm thinking, if you change it, you're going to change it for all your metahumans. So you might want to know where that thing is being connected so you can connect your own custom one. That would be a nice thing to know.
It is connected in the wardrobe. That is where it is connected.
All right, let's actually go and
You could open
check.
the wardrobe, your own, and exchange the texture that's right there and put your own.
Exactly. So let me open this one.
So that
And-
one, find it, make a copy, chop the arms off, for example.
Right, but what if?
Leave just the hands. And the other thing you could do is find references to see
Yeah,
where.
that's what I wanted. I want to see how this thing is connected.
Oh, cool. Nowhere.
No, it should. It's really?
It's nowhere.
It is
It's-
not connected?
So the wardrobe asset is the one that's doing the magic
So,
through
can
what
I
I tried to open the other day,
delete
which
it?
is the MetaHuman outfit pipeline. Right, it's connected to both wardrobes. I tried to open the MetaHuman outfit pipeline just to see if it was blueprinting or what, and it's C++, so I didn't even bother.
Oh my god, this is wild. But then the actual material
It's being created in
pipeline
the MetaHuman
is
outfit pipeline.
really weird.
Yes.
Because maybe it's actually creating like a copy of this. So how is this thing called? It's called DG. DG because of what? DG?
The G.
Isn't the actual... Oh, default garment. This is what it is.
Default garment. Yeah,
So
sounds good.
maybe in the... So body shape A. Let me see if I can find this. There should be
Body
one of
shape
these.
A is your default MetaHuman.
Yeah, body mask.
And the body shape A.
So if I go here,
No, it's not a
search
wardrobe.
for
I think it is a wardrobe.
body
It's
mask.
in the whatchamacallit? In the plugin folder.
Dude, that's impossible. It's impossible that they can cut a metahuman through a mask without actually offering the mask. Like how does that happen? So if I go to
What do you mean
metahumans,
without-
because that mask, at least that one, is not connected to any material.
I
Right.
think the MetaHuman pipeline is doing that.
But there has to be like a material, right, for the metahuman.
I don't know. Maybe the MetaHuman pipeline is just looking at geometry, looking at the white and black pixels, and then cutting wherever they meet in the UV.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's... What if it's some sort of vertex texture? Because it
Yeah.
has to do something like that.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, there is no texture that happens to look like this one in your MetaHuman folder. You see?
Doesn't the body look like that?
No, I mean, if when you create a MetaHuman, Unreal Engine needs to create a material for that particular MetaHuman, right?
Yes.
Because, the actual way that this one looks beside the next
It's
should
different
have
from
like
the
a
other
different.
ones. Yeah.
So they should have their own material. And
Yes.
as you can see, this one is cut, right? Because if I go to the skeletal mesh, this one is cut. So
Yes.
these materials should have that mask applied.
Yes.
But there is no copy of that mask anywhere, at least not in my MetaHuman folder.
Yeah, but that's because the assembly does it. I think it's done, and then the mask is just there for your wardrobes to be fed into the MetaHuman pipeline, and then the MetaHuman pipeline through the C++ coding, when it's getting assembled, is where it destroys the mesh and it creates
No.
it creates this.
This is still, this is still a mask.
Yes, no, there's no geometry there. We found that out last week.
I believe.
We put the wireframe down, and there was no geometry.
But would the wireframe show if it has like a mask material? I don't think
Yes,
so.
Of course. Of course. Hair cards, trees, they all show wireframe. You can try applying another material and you'll see that it's still chopped.
Oh, we tried that before, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we already figured this out. It's literally geometry chopped.
Oh, so it's really chopped. Oh, all right.
Yep.
All right, let's do
So
it
the
then.
question now would be, can you manually create a copy of that texture,
Oh, yeah.
paint it black, which
Let's
sadly
call
you'll
this
have to do
one
outside of the
short.
engine.
Body mask, short. Shorter. Yeah. Let's save that. Let's actually come here and let's sign it. That's it. And now all we need to do is to paint. So we can go to the, where's the painting? Mesh paint. Here we go. And we should be painting the texture. RGB channels. These. Why did you remove? Oh, here, texture. Yeah, that's right. And paint. And RGB channels. Why? Oh, it did paint into the texture. But why I don't have the actual color here? It's gonna be really hard if this thing doesn't. Oh, maybe these, the UV channel. One. Oh. Blue channel. RGB channel off. Oh, all right. So that color view should be off, not RGB. Are you stupid? White is not RGB? All right. So now I will paint with black. Look at that. Oh, really?
Oh.
Scratching. Oh, no, it's here. Very good. So now I don't know. You can see that this is not like really, really sharp. This is a little bit, feather, and still, the cut actually happens like good. So even so, I'm gonna make these just a little bit less fluffy. So it should be strength 100. All right, this is what I want. So I'm gonna cut until the wrist. Do you agree, Dr. Vilanova?
Yes.
So let's cut through
Chop away.
the wrist. This thing paints on both sides, so it's danger. This thing is dangerous. And boom. It's not gonna be like the best cut in the world, but I think these will suffice. I'm afraid to actually, I don't know. I want to see.
Just leave it like that. We're testing. Yeah, we don't know.
So let's go
You should paint everything black on the feet.
here. Oh yeah, everything. You're right because
You don't need. They have full boots.
Yeah. So now back here and here.
See what we
there.
get. It should work.
And
In theory.
I believe that's it. So we're just gonna have like a flying, and you just gotta be sure that you're not, painting here, because this is like the wrong UV. This is gonna be like over painting whatever you're doing here. So you should not paint in this area at all. Just paint in the body from the neck down. All right, that's it. So now we save. And now this is what we get. It's horrible.
Couple of glitches here and there, but it should be fine. We'll see what happens.
This is the bleeding. I don't know if the cut is going to be affected by the bleeding, but let's see. So let's do it. Let's save everything. Let's close this. Let's go back to our MetaHuman, just like that. These dude. And what we're going to do is we're going to be opening the wardrobe, and we're going to be changing the mask.
Yep.
Let's go. So here we are. It should be in. So I'm going to remove it just because. And
take it away from him first and then remove it.
All right. That's
there
it.
There you go.
And
yeah, it's a bit buggy.
So what we need to do is. It is. I actually fudged it up. Let me.
No, you remove the wardrobe. It's fine. You just need to drag it back on. But first, you may want to put the mask on.
Just in case, I'm gonna save everything.
Oh yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's been a little bit sloppy.
Good thinking.
Like every click is like Unreal Engine is second thinking of it. All right, that's it. Let's go outfits and Rebel, and this one. Let's bring it here, and now we should accessory properties, and we're gonna. Here it is, the shorter one. Let's go save, close it. Now save this one. I know what it is. It's this stupid thing, the memory stuff. Every time you open up MetaHuman, it will eat up like all the memory. I don't know why. All right, that's it. And now we should assign it. And boom. And so just to check if I'm not crazy. No, I'm completely crazy. I thought that thing was applied here. And now let's assemble it again. And yep. Let's go. So if that works, I'm going to make like one just for this carbon. That's going to be just the tip of the fingers, and that's it.
Let's see if that works.
It should.
It should. 10 people watching.
10 people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, I wish I had the actual chat here. I need to figure out how to do this in Meld.
We have a couple of people chatting there.
Right.
Yeah, 10 people watching. Howdy, everyone.
What are they saying? All right, I need to check.
So we got John saying hello. He was saying that he did paint some of the material of the skin of some characters the same color as the actual cloth, so you kind of don't see when there's some poking here and there, which is another solution. Mesh Morpher also, and we now have blend shape scene on Unreal Engine, so you could use that too to hide those problems. Then we have Pernav, which says, hey guys, huge fan of both of your work. I saw your classes for 5.2 Animation Fellowship and often refer to the workflows to this day. Thanks to you, I'm doing a freelance animation in Unreal Engine 5.
All right.
So that's great.
All right, how are you
We also
finding
have
animation?
Jesse.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We also have Jesse again here. Hi, Jesse.
Hello,
We
Jesse.
gotta do we gotta do that second part now that we have full-fledged and full-blown Unreal Engine 5.6 and not just a preview.
Oh, yeah.
We have Roscoe saying hi. Roscoe's 3D Playground.
Yep. He's
Yes.
a student from Seneca and Pixamondo course.
They say, bro, you're tripping when you thought you saw the MetaHuman being chopped in half, but you never saw it actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm frozen. Am I gone? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Let
I
me.
think I'm frozen.
Yeah, that's why I should not. Now you're good?
My
Yeah.
camera is fine.
Yeah, you're
My
right.
audio was fine, so I think I'm fine either way.
No, I actually jump. Oh, look at that.
We can hear. Thank you.
So,
It did work. Oh, the bleeding. Holy shit.
bit of an issue with the bleeding.
Oh my god.
But that's a thing that we're not going to be able to fix. Oh, you know what? I can fix it. Yep. All right, let's fix that.
I mean, we do have a texture editor in Unreal. It sucks balls, but we do have it.
Oh, we do have it. We do
you
have
could just
it.
put black blocks on top of those.
Oh, no.
By
Let me show
merging
you.
them, I guess.
Let me show you what you need to do. All you need
Yeah,
to
of
do.
course it worked, John. What do you mean?
All you need
Everything
to
we
do is
try works on the first try.
this. You need to drop a plane,
He says as he
And you pull it up.
struggles inside.
and you do this, and
Not
then
really.
you yeah, I need to actually go here and here and close these, grab these, put it there, and now I paint here. That's
Man,
the best way.
I love these tutorials where they say how you can make a stylized MetaHuman, and they have the Unreal Engine logo, and then you click on it, and the first thing they do is they open Maya,
Oh,
and I'm like,
yeah,
bruh.
that to me is a turnoff
bruh,
right there.
Me-
It's like
Maya and MetaPipe, and I'm like, bruh, you should put that on the title, brother.
yeah,
Terrible clickbaiting.
that's it. Now we can paint away.
Oh, that was smart.
Paint away. Oh,
Oh,
there we go. Paint away. Oh,
So-
look at that finger.
uh-oh.
All right. there
So
we go.
you applied the texture to a plane
Yeah.
instead of the MetaHuman.
Yeah.
Why weren't these lines showing in the MetaHuman? Oh, these are outside of the MetaHuman geometry.
Those are
Okay,
bleeding
that's
lines.
why. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the bleeding. Yeah.
yeah. You apply that normally when you paint, like it's something that is in the actual program to actually do. All right, that's it, and now we save, and now we need to redo this guy. All right, let's do that. I want to see if that works. All right, now that looks fine, and we should jump into MetaHuman, jump into this guy. I love the fact that you get the notices, the red notices
Inside
in
the
the thumbnails.
thumbnail. Yeah.
It's like your stupid video card is crap, and this is the
Your-
thumbnail that is going to remind you every time you look at this
Yeah,
thumbnail.
and also the thumbnail is wasting resources by getting updated with the warning message, which is insane.
So should I actually just reassemble it?
So John is saying it should update the texture without the whole rebuild. Sadly, John, it will not.
Yeah.
We'll need to reassemble the entire thing because the wardrobe asset is using a chaos outfit, and the final result that we get when we export from MetaHuman Creator and we assemble it is a skeletal mesh, and the conversion and all that is just a skeletal mesh. So essentially, we're feeding something into the MetaHuman Creator, which is spitting out a different thing. But we agree, and I know you said it should update the texture without the whole rebuild. That's our wish too. I understand that you said it in that way, right? That you were wishing and hoping that you didn't need to do all this thing again. And the worst thing here is Gabe is now assembling another MetaHuman.
Yeah.
Because it's not replacing the previous one.
Yeah.
It's another new
Yeah, but
MetaHuman, which will come with 75 materials and 75 textures and another skeletal mesh and another skeleton.
Yeah.
because they are no longer using a common asset
Yeah.
anymore.
But no, in this case, is particularly because, yeah, it really blows your mind when you realize that that is not a texture. That is the actual MetaHuman cut. It's like it disappears, part of the MetaHuman.
Yep.
It is not part of the geometry. So we had that
Awesome
error
sauce.
because when it was built, it actually detected the bleeding on the texture, and it left those weird, artifacts. Like
Yep.
when it tried to remove the faces, now it is fully black, hopefully, and
It should.
it should actually work this time.
We have occupational hazard here saying that's wild. I'm guessing the choppiness of
Yep,
the metahumans that we're doing.
yep. Now, I found it a little bit ironic that they say like, all right, let's remove the faces because that would be like more optimal. But then I'm gonna chop the whole metahuman into 5 different pieces. So if you brought in like shoes and pants and shirts and everything is gonna be its own skeleton. So moving skeletons is not a big thing, but actually deforming a couple of, maybe not a couple, maybe a couple hundred of polygons beneath the metahuman is gonna be an issue. That is wild. Oh, look at that! That's a
And
clean cut.
oh, it didn't create a new metahuman. Okay, so it replaced one because you specified the same name.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
So it does actually replace
Clean cut.
and
Look
it's
at
a
that.
clean cut. Well, as far, oh no, it's a very clean cut.
No, it is
So
clean.
it takes like an average. It says like, well, because the actual painter was not that clean here. It was a little bit skewed. And either way, it
Well,
actually
the
made.
thing is, it's gonna look at an edge that it can chop. It won't
Oh
It won't
no!
leave
Remember,
like
on this case, I actually delete the whole thing, and it is just a UV island.
islands. It's using the UV islands. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now these is gonna be great because once you get these and you
We
go
just saved. What would you
visibility.
say? 100,000 polygons more?
Yeah.
Probably more.
But in any case, it's gonna bring, like shoes separate from the pants, separate from the gloves, separate from the backpack, separate from the jacket. And this is us just created like a one piece, but this could actually turns out to be like 5 to 6 different skeletons in the same metahuman. So that to me was the real big thing. As soon as MetaHuman came out, I thought that, all right, this is great. But it would be even better if this could be like one unified, one skeletal mesh with the thing on the outside, and that's it, right? So all the skeletal mesh combined into one. Like you can actually do. Oh, you know what? You can actually do that now that I mention it. I could export these dude as a unified mesh, and it will come out with the actual garments and everything with it. Have you tried that?
Trying to what? Merge the metahuman with the garment?
Yeah, I think that if you actually export it from here, it will come out with the clothing in, maybe, or not.
I don't follow.
If I go here and
Export combine?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't bring the cloth.
no,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't bring cloth or groom assets.
yeah, the grooms are, it should be something that you would expect, even though you could create them, on an actor basis, right? The reason why you actually would want to have like a blueprint, it's actually to hold these like forever and ever, right? That you have a couple of things are really useful, like having the grooms always in your character. That would be nice, and also having the LOD manager. That is also nice. But
Yep.
then having 5 to 6, separate skeletal meshes inside your metahuman, to me is a waste of resources, a full waste. So
But right now we have 3.
yeah, but just because this is like a unibody. But remember that this dude comes with like the pants separate from the jacket.
Okay.
Once you start separating stuff, in
Yeah,
the
you're
end,
adding more skelly mesh.
yeah, like for example, this guy right here, if you check it out, this thing is one skeletal mesh.
Yep.
I should actually do this. Yeah, this
Well, the
one
thing is,
is for the
you may
pants.
want to do this on purpose because you may have interchangeable pieces.
Right, but really?
Well, very specific cases, obviously. Or maybe it's for a video game and you actually need them to be separate because when the character
Right.
changes the chess piece or something like that.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. It would be fine.
But optimization wise, what we just found is awesome because we can get rid of like 200K polygons probably under the hood there.
Yeah.
But we're never gonna see.
The other thing that they need to fix, and this is something that we cannot fix, is the fact that even if the outfit or the chaos cloth is good in terms of the weighting gets completely off once it's out of the.
It's run through the MetaHuman creator, right?
Yeah, I don't know why
Yep.
it damages it.
Yep.
And I don't know why is that. So if you load here the ROM.
It doesn't damage it. It's redoing it.
Yeah, but
It's redoing it from scratch. It's disobeying everything we told it to do, and it's redoing it from scratch.
yeah.
I manually fixed a skeletal mesh that I then moved into a cloth asset
Right.
without any weight transfers again within the cloth asset because that would be counterintuitive, right? I manually fixed that skeletal mesh, sent it into a skeletal mesh import to then go into a cloth terminal, no transferring of weights because none was needed. It was already weighted.
Right.
Then I sent it into a resize outfit, which does no transferring of weights once
Correct.
again. And then I sent it into creator. And while in creator, the weighting was reset to 0 and to the weight transfer again. It does the same thing again. So where is it doing it? It's doing it in that translation between the creator and the export. It's doing it on that assembly.
Yeah.
It's doing it at the same step in which it actually chops the MetaHuman.
Yep. That is.
And we can't tell it not to do so, which is very annoying because those are all hidden things within the MetaHuman pipeline thing, which is a C++
Yeah.
asset.
Dude, and having so many skeletons now, it's
It's horrible.
really
I hate it.
confusing, man. I don't
Yeah,
know
it is.
when and where, all my skeletons are. They're all called MetaHuman something skeleton. So now
They
it's
are.
harder than ever. I wanted to actually load the ROM here, and it was like
7 hours of figuring out which MetaHuman skeleton
Yeah.
is the one you need.
yeah, exactly. No animation asset here, and ROM. Here we go. And I actually loaded in the wrong one. Oh no, because it's this one, the one that I wanted. Oh my
I
god.
think that's a skeletal mesh flying there.
Yep. So it should be this one. Body here. ROM.
I love
There
that we
we
got these now in the engine. We didn't have this before
Oh,
prior.
the
in
ones on the
5.5.
face. The ones on the face
Yep.
are really, really good.
They're awesome. Yep.
So this is what is wrong. When
This is awesome.
he goes up, chin up, yeah, look at
Yep.
that. This is working both in the cloth and on the outfit.
Yes.
And mind you, those two were made by the engine. So is the third one, the one that creates the skeletal mesh, the one that also is made by.
Wait, so are you sure that you weight transferred and it didn't have the? Didn't
Yep.
you say that you had to manually fix that?
Yeah, no, this one is the old workflow, at least
Yes.
up to this model, and this one were fed with the static mesh. So the first and only weight that happens is within the cloth assets.
Okay.
So
the cloth asset. So automatically it's doing it wrong from the very start.
yep.
But the problem is, even if you fix it, then when you send it into creator screws it up again,
Yep.
which is super dumb.
Yeah, it really makes no sense. So, for example, let me go to and these, oh my God, the thumbnails, all with the same thumbnail, man. Just because I duplicated it instead of having like a new one created every time. So this is the jacket. So if you check out the jacket here, the jacket is the pants. Ain't that great?
Ain't that awesome?
Is that right? I actually messed up that bad? And the pants
Or the jacket?
are also the
Oh.
pants.
Uh-oh.
What is going on?
Pants are the pants.
And the
The
boots?
jacket is jacket.
They're all pants. But are you... All right. How these... All right. Forget about this. I don't know what the hell happened here. You know what? Maybe actually duplicating those is not the brightest idea. Maybe you need to have like a proper one.
I would say it's not a great idea, no.
Yeah. Now you can see that they're all pants. But on the other hand, these ones might be good. Yeah, these ones are jackets. Who knows how? So let me show you here. It is actually good. Look up. Look up. It's perfect. But then the skeletal mesh is fudged up. Why?
Wait, so in here it's okay?
Yep.
How?
And how these things steal a jacket when the cloth
Wait.
that
But
is
how
being
is it
fed here,
okay here?
it's pants. it's making no sense.
How is it okay here?
Well, that's a big question.
So the cloth asset, the thumbnail is pants, but if you open it up, it's pants inside too?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another trippy
But
thing.
this is my worry is that this is not the automated way transfer, and that you manually corrected this, and that's why it's working.
No way, because this is actually there is no skeletal mesh here. It is just static meshes. So let me go through this whole thing, so you can see that it will do it correctly.
So you're saying that it's automatically doing it correctly outside of MetaHuman Creator, but when you put it in MetaHuman Creator, it's doing it incorrectly.
When it is assembled.
Yeah. MetaHuman Creator. Oh, that's terrible.
Yep.
When is it assembled, or when it's already in MetaHuman Creator and we run the ROM?
Look, just here, it does the actual
transfer weights,
right?
Yes.
If you play this stuff here,
if you play,
it's good.
It's doing it okay. Yeah, you're right.
Look at the neck when she looks up.
Yeah. No, it's already fine. The head is moving a lot.
Yeah.
So
it makes less and less sense to actually have either an outfit or either a cloth asset when, you know, the thing that is going to come out is a skeletal mesh. It makes
I want you to
no
try
sense.
that right now. Yes. Go to the final node here.
All right.
I think we can get it from here. I think.
No.
Is the terminal? No, it has to be the outfit.
Yeah, let me
All
go to
right.
the
So
outfit.
if you feed that into an outfit, from the outfit, we would be able to spit out a skeletal mesh.
Yep. So
Yes.
let's test it
convert
here.
to skeletal mesh.
And let's see
It's fine.
if here is
Works.
fine. If it's fine, we're going to
Yes.
create one.
Convert to skeletal mesh.
Look up. There it is. So
yeah,
this
it's
one
fine.
is
It's
good.
fine. You can clearly see it's fine.
And yeah, check it.
Sure.
And
And then we would
two.
be able to just grab this jacket, grab the head bone, move it around, and see if that is
Yep.
fine or not.
That's it. And the
Jacket to the left. Yep, right there. Oh, all
This
the way
one?
to the right. Almost in the middle.
Oh, here it is.
All right. Yes.
No skeleton. So if I hit create, it's going to create this one. And now
okay.
we should go upper arm, clavicle, neck. All right, side to side seems to be fine. Now, what about up and down? All right, neck 2 is fine. Neck 1,
Neck 2 is fine.
it's also fine.
Neck 1 is fine.
And
What about
head? It's also fine.
What the freak?
So,
It's even worse.
whatever transfer is done here, not here,
No, it's
But
fine. The
here,
problem is MetaHuman Creator.
yeah, MetaHuman Creator.
So the problem is the MetaHuman pipeline thingy-majingy,
Yep.
because
Whatever
both this
version of
one
these
and
transfer skin weights, it's doing the wrong thing.
not this.
Yeah, yeah.
This is doing it correctly.
My guess is that they have their own, node,
Yes.
right? In their
Yes.
internal thing, in the,
Yes.
the internal math and all that.
Yes.
And it's not this one. This one is
Yeah.
A-okay. This one
Yeah.
works like a charm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the one
Wait,
that...
open that back up. Did you change the properties on the node?
No.
I saw arrows.
Here?
Yep. If you click on the node and then go to the right-hand side, you change the radius percentage and you change the transform.
Oh, yeah. You're right. So I actually fix it here. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well then,
Yeah, but
so
I mean,
everything is wrong.
but I mean, it is fixed here, but it's speed out like wrong. So it's not using this one. So you could, to my knowledge, actually get rid of this thing even without skin transfer. It will redo the skin
Right,
transfer.
I agree. Yes.
Like further
on
on.
that end, yes, but you did fix it here. So that means that even the base transfer weights is doing it wrong on a chaos asset and therefore on the chaos outfit. The thing that you can't or that you shouldn't do is trying to fix it before you send it into MetaHuman Creator, because MetaHuman Creator is going to go, I don't care, and it's going to destroy all your work.
Yep.
So you got to fix it after the fact. You got to fix it once it's out as a skeletal mesh.
Yep.
Again, and you could fix it here and turning it into a cloth asset again, or
Yep.
you could fix the weight transfer in the skeletal mesh itself.
Exactly. Which simply makes no good sense.
No, it does not. What is the point? Also, it means that it's broken for every iteration that you assemble and export, meaning that you need to fix every iteration. So the whole point of having one outfit fit them all gets nullified because you got to go and fix them all,
Exactly.
which is counterintuitive.
Which is really stupid because it should be really, really easy to actually fix it. But again, if you are trying to create like a pipeline where everything should work, these will take tons of times out of your work because you're going to have to actually go many, many times doing this thing. So it would be like grabbing these and actually saying mesh in, where is that thing? It's in bones? No. Replace.
I think mesh and you got to select the vertices, right?
Oh, you need to get affected. Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
And now you get head and you
So get the head and get rid of it. Yeah, exactly.
Because neck
is fine.
are good. The one with the head is the one that is ruining it. And because this thing is normalizing, it's actually spreading that normal.
The information in the other bones. Yeah.
So now it should be good. Let's save. Go here. Go there.
Okay, that one was fixed already anyway. Or was this one broken?
Yeah. We just fixed it. This one.
Okay, got it.
Now it's good. But again, it's a pain in the ass, to tell you the truth. Because if it is good in the outfit, you would expect that it would reuse all the weights. Because then why have an actual weight in the outfit? You know?
Yeah, and also any simulations that you do are thrown out of the window when you send it into MetaHuman Creator as a wardrobe outfit, because again, it destroys it and it turns it into a skeletal mesh. So what is the point? It's such a strange. I love this. I love that I sent a message to Spitzer, I think, where I told him, hey, is there any reason why the MetaHuman Creator is spitting out skeletal meshes instead of cloth assets? And Sean went, are you talking about 5.6?
Yeah.
And I'm like, brother, of course, there's only one MetaHuman Creator existing as of today. But obviously he doesn't need to know this.
Yeah.
He may not even be in contact with the people that designed this. But this feels like a very strange design decision. And I would love to hear from Epic themselves when they release the documentation, so in approximately 27 years probably, why they decided to go, hey, feed us Chaos Cloth, and we'll give you a skeletal mesh. So fuck your simulations and
Yeah.
your transfer weights, because we're going to destroy them all and get new ones
Yeah, I
with
think
our pipeline that is closed and you can't touch because it's on C++, and you need Visual Studio, and it's also unlocked. So it's what? Just give me a button that John is saying here. They will have to add a keep skin weights
yeah.
button somewhere, which we would love, right?
Or
Hey, don't turn this into a skelly mesh.
yeah, or don't change it. Like you already have weights, right? I freeze you up again. I don't know how to fix you. Right now, you should
I'm
be
back.
fixed. All right. Or don't change it. If you already have weights, like reuse it. Like it would be, well, my guess is the next. When actually Sean told you, like, are you working in 5.6? He was like saying, like, yeah, forget about everything that is happening in 5.6. I guess that is like the norm of 5.6. 5.6 is 5.5 with a dash of MetaHuman on top. Maybe it's a little bit more efficient and optimal, and et cetera, et cetera. It's more, maybe, I have found it to be a little bit less crashy. So maybe it's a little bit more stable.
I
But
haven't crashed one.
I don't think that this is by any chance what we're gonna be getting with 5.7. My guess is that this is gonna be dumb proof, and this is gonna be like, create a garment, bring in your static mesh, put it there, and we take care of it, and we're gonna give you, because everything now is pointing into this economy 2.0, right? Where they want everybody to be contributing into the ecosystem. Like if you have textures, if you have modelers, if you have animators, everybody should be able to actually sell their stuff into Fab. And I think these, opens up like a huge, opening to new people coming, and creating their own markets inside the Fat marketplace. And as it is now, it makes no sense. This is a good showcase of what we can expect this to be, and we are, having fun playing with this thing, but this might not be what we get in the end at all. I think this is going to be a lot easier.
It already changed from preview to release, and it changed drastically.
Oh, yeah.
So my hope is that this gets way more streamlined.
Yeah.
And some of the things that they said during Unreal Fest, some Epic developers, they were constantly mentioning that they are further trying to get it to be friendlier, because it's currently not very friendly.
No.
And again, my main issue is that all of these is uncharted terrain. So when I uploaded the video yesterday or 2 days ago, where I teach how to do the wardrobes, people were coming in and saying, oh my God, this is the first tutorial that exists about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one is showing how to do the entire thing, because you gotta go in and you gotta reverse engineer the outfits that already exist, because there's no documentation, and there's not going to be documentation for a while.
Yep.
And it's a problem, because I had to do the same thing with grooms. I had to go in, reverse engineer the grooms that already existed there. I faced some issues, and then I finally figured it out. But you don't have actual support from Epic on any of these. What is going on with that cloth over there?
See?
Oh God. What is happening?
Who knows? No, I remember this one being like really, really fudged up. No, you know what? I think you hit it in the head of the nail when you said about documentation not being there. I think there is documentation, and the documentation is for 5.7. So what there are going to be, and it's on an advanced version of whatever we have here. So it makes no sense, to actually spend tons of time.
The cloth documentation is from 5.5. It's even from Unreal Engine 4. It's all over the place. It's not even 5. I would hope and dream that it was 5.7, but it's even 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it is moving so fast in terms of the development that they really don't care right now documenting any of these, because all of these are just, flashy tests for you to play with. and and engage with. But
Yeah, probably.
this is not what we should expect from the final release of this thing.
I just want them to let me do the simulations and keep them, and I just want them to let me keep my waypainting as I transfer it into Creator, so it's fixed if it's a problem, and I don't have to fix it every single time I export one MetaHuman.
Yep.
And the other thing is, you can't transfer that waypainting fast enough to all those other new skeletal meshes. It's not an easy process to just transfer it. It's easy, but it takes time.
Yep.
So if you create 10 metahumans because you created a futuristic armor or power armor or something, and then the skinning is fixed in one of them, the original, and then there's 9 of them that you need to replace. It's an easy process, but it's 9 times that you gotta go in, replace, go in, replace. It's insane.
No,
Insane.
it makes no sense. I believe
Yep.
I believe this is gonna get better. You know what? It reminds
Obviously.
me. It reminds me a lot of, and this is why I'm saying that all of this is gonna be tied up by the new Unreal Animation framework. That is what they're hoping for. They are aiming to that on every angle because again, it's like the first time that there are gonna be multi-threading anything animation-wise. Remember, they are trying to take everything out from the CPU, right? They want everything that they can actually move on the GPU and the GPU. And the other thing is that they want everything that remains on the CPU to be multi-threaded. That is their aiming right now because they are preparing for Unreal Engine 6. And Unreal Engine 6 is going to be the first video game engine that is going to be fully multi-threaded. That is what is going to be the huge revolution, right? And it's going to really slap on every other, developer because they're going to be the first one into actually creating very expansive worlds where you can have like 1,000 people on a cluster server. That's the kind of things that you cannot dream about that right now. And they actually said it in the presentation. Like, they are really CPU bounded when you're talking about animations. So if they actually accomplish that, they are going to be miles ahead from everybody else in terms of the quality of the games that you can produce, and it's going to, in fact, it's going to actually be weird for the actual hardware industry because now they are actually creating these gaming CPUs, the 3DX, right? And those are like that because just a couple, if you buy like an AMD 3D CPU, they have like extra cache, like double the cache, but not on all cores, just on 2. And that is mainly because normal video game engines actually run mostly on 2 threads, and that's it. So the rest are just, performant, threads and cores that are not, that useful for gaming. You can even, if you download any sort of hacking thing for your CPU from actual AMD, if you set it to be gaming, it will actually reduce the amount of cores that you have in your CPU. And they won't care. Like if you get like 24 cores, it will actually put it on 12 cores and remove the rest because games are not going to be using. And what they're going to do is actually put more juice into those cores so it can run faster. But that is going to change completely if Epic actually managed to create the first game engine that works in multi-threading fashion. Even the industry of CPUs and GPUs are going to change because they now need to revert and actually having like a thread reaper is going to be great, for actual gaming instead of being, a silly thing because you're only using one core right now. So even that is going to change a lot. So I would say that we might get into a point where you're going to see chaos happening again. Do you remember how chaos started?
Yep.
They couldn't merge it with the normal how it is called, branch of the main. like Chaos for Unreal Engine 4 was a separate branch that ran parallel, right? So if you wanted to use Chaos, you gotta use this one and you gotta, download it and compile it and do all that stuff. Same happened with Mass. Mass is still working almost 100% on C++. They're not even releasing anything blueprint-wise or any other, particularly good user interface or stuff like that, because again, it makes no sense, right now on what this engine is providing right now. So my guess is that very soon we're going to have like a separate version of Unreal Engine that is going to be starting running in multi-threading, and that is going to be kept separately from this one, the one that runs only on 1 to 2 CPUs. And once the other one actually absorbs everything that this one is doing, then Unreal Engine 6 is going to be, released, and it's going to be a very, very drastic change to what we know about video games.
Take the world by storm.
Oh, yeah. Imagine Fortnite, but with 1,000 people per map.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying.
Yeah, imagine having to moderate that chat.
That's going to be annoying.
Oh, my God. All right. So, yeah, my guess is that that's it. We actually came and conquer. We actually fixed tons of stuff. And we have some very good, new advice for people to actually, for me to create clips. Now I'm creating clips of all these, and it's fun. People are actually enjoying those clips a lot. So yeah, now I have work for another full weeks of, of clips, and that is what we wanted. All right. So I'm feeling a little bit down with I don't know if I have COVID or whatever, but nothing smells like nothing. I was drinking ginger tea, and it tastes like water. Ginger, dude. Ginger is like, nuclear, smell. And it was like drinking hot water. I don't smell anything at all. So that is not
It's
great.
just a little flu. You'll be fine.
Oh, my God. Well, hopefully it's going to be fine.
Yeah, of course.
And hopefully you all return for next time. Well, we're going to have more and more, advices, little tips and tricks next time for sure. I know that Franco is going to have the framework and the pipeline for hair from Blender to MetaHuman editor. That's going to be fun.
Let's go. It's been cooking.
All right. So, oh my God, thank you so much, Franco, for coming this time again. And it's very good to have you every week. Hopefully.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yep. And for everybody else, thank you for coming. I love you all. Be good to each other. And I see you on the next one. Thank you, Franco.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.